YouTube channel, Indigo Yoga with Hannah. This morning we're going to be doing a Jivamukti inspired power flow. So if you want to come today to find a comfortable seat to begin with, you want the knees to either be in alignment with the hips or you want them to be lower than the hips. So maybe taking a block, a bolster, a pillow and sitting on top of that. If you need to loosen those hip flexors out a little bit. Otherwise coming just to find a comfortable cross-legged position. And we're going to either place the hands in the lap or we can take a mudra. You can take your chin mudra or your yana mudra. And then you're going to close the eyes, seal the lips. Inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them down the back. Inhale, the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them down the back. Inhale, the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them down the back. Begin to become aware of the breath as it moves in and out of the nostrils. Notice if it moves through the right nostril, or the left nostril, or through both. And then follow that breath through the nostrils, down the throat, as it fills the belly, the diaphragm, the chest, up behind the collarbones and the shoulder blades. And then follow the breath as it leaves the body, from the belly, the diaphragm, chest, behind the collarbones and the shoulder blades. As you inhale, silently reciting the word let. As you exhale, silently reciting the word go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. We're using the mantra to let go of the thoughts and the mind. Using the breath to settle the mind and the body into the present moment. And then we're going to breathe into the heart space, into Anahata chakra. And we're going to come and set a bhakti for today's practice. A bhakti is a loving dedication to someone or something other than yourself. Mine's going to go out to all of you today. And then as you inhale, breathing up into the third eye space, Ajna chakra, and coming to set an intention for today's practice. Mine's going to be the mantra, let go. And maybe yours is something more personal to you, setting that self for you and your practice now. And on the next inhalation, coming into an Ujjayi breath, a slight constriction at the back of the throat on the inhalation and the exhalation. Like you're fogging up a window, but with sealed lips. We're aiming for an exhalation double the length of the inhalation. The Ujjayi breath translates to the victorious breath. It's actually thought to have psychic properties. And it's the tool we use today to take our asana practice and turn it into yoga. Opening the eyes and rolling yourself forward into a tabletop position. Stacking the wrists in line with the shoulders and the knees in line with the hips. We're just going to begin by warming up the wrists. So as you inhale, you're going to reach the chest forward, and as you exhale, you're going to bring the hips all the way back. Inhale, reach all the way forward. Exhale, take the hips all the way back. Inhale, come all the way forward. Exhale, come all the way back. And we're going to just switch directions. Inhale, come all the way forward. inhale back through the center line. Bring the knees back into alignment as they've come out. And then you're going to take the right hand, bring the right back of the hand down to the earth and bring the fingers back to face the knee. And then just taking, if you don't, I have a hyperextension in the elbow, so for me, I don't want to turn my elbow right around because it's going to bring it too much into its full expression. But if you don't have a hyperextension, you can take your elbow around to the front of the wall in front of you and really find that full expression. And then wherever you are, whichever is safe for your arm, you're going to curl the fingers back and make a fist. Exhale, inhale, exhale, and turn that back over. Beautiful. And we're going to do the same with the left now. So press that left back of the hand into the mat, fingers facing the knee. And then if you don't have a hyperextension, that inner eye, the elbow can turn right around, but I have that extension, so I'm not going to do that. And then you're going to curl the fingers back towards the wrist. And then release. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And plant those fingers down on the earth. And then before we take it back to a downward dog, let's plant and make sure our hands are nice and stable to begin with. So let's have them about 1.5 feet from the front of the mat. And you're going to place the middle finger facing the front of the room, and every other finger is going to spread out nice and far apart from that middle finger. And you're going to use the fingertips, really press into the earth through the fingertips. This is going to awaken the muscles in the triceps, and it's going to begin to use our entire arm to carry the weight of our body, not just our wrists. If you have a hyperextension in the elbow like me, you might actually find that instead of the index finger facing the front of the mat, that instead of the middle finger facing the front of the mat, your index finger works better facing the front of the mat, and then every other finger moves away from that. But see what works for you and your body today, and work with that. And then we're going to curl the toes, lift the knees, and then as you exhale, you're going to roll back to your first downward dog for the day. Lifting and lowering the heels in opposite directions. Just taking that inward breath into the backs of the legs, scanning the body, checking in with yourself, and using that outward breath to surrender the body to the pose. And then as you inhale, you're going to roll yourself forward to a high plank. Notice if you had to move your feet just then, just like I did. It means your downward dog probably wasn't long enough. So we have two options in our high plank. We can either puff up through the shoulders, really rounding into the upper back, or if you have quite a lot of tension in your shoulders already, like I do, what you're going to do is engage the core a little bit more, come forward in the chest, and then squeeze the arms just outside of the chest, squeezing those triceps. And this is going to take the shoulders away from the ears a little bit. So this is our plank. We want the hips to be lower than the shoulders, engage through the core, engage through the inner thighs, push through the heels. Then you bring your knees to the earth, your chest to the earth, your chin to the earth. Squeeze the arms to the side of the body here, keep the toes curled. This pose is called Ashtanga Namaskar. As you inhale, uncurl the toes, bring the hips down to the earth, bring the heart through the arms, squeeze the triceps towards the side, and just gaze to where the heart goes. There's no need to look towards the sky and strain the neck. As you exhale, bring the hips back to the heels, and then come back to find your downward dog. This time in your downward dog, move the hips from side to side as you lift and lower the heels, taking that breath into the sides of the body. As you inhale, roll yourself forward to your high plank. Exhale, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Exhale, the seat to the heels, downward dog. This time we're finding a stable downward dog. So walk the feet hip distance apart, turn the heels slightly out so you can no longer see them behind the big toes. Push the hips towards the sky, the backs of the legs towards the wall behind you. And then find that inner rotation of the inner thighs like you're squeezing a block. Engage through the Mula Bandha. Pull the belly under the rib cage. Take the drishti either towards the navel or between the knees. And then turn the triceps in to face each other, turning the elbows slightly out as you roll the shoulders up the back. Finding that lock for the upper arms. If the heels are on the mat, maybe curl the toes back, lifting them off the earth, deepening the stretch of the backs of the legs. Use those stable hands, pressing all the hands into the earth. This is your nice stable downward dog where you want to get to each time you come to it. As you inhale, roll yourself forward to your high plank. Exhale, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, the seat to the heels, downward dog. As you inhale, come onto the tips of the toes. As you exhale, taking tiny little steps, begin to round through the shoulder blades. Walk the feet in as close as you can get them behind the hands, and then release down. As you inhale, come to a halfway lift, gaze forward. Take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, squeeze the palms together. As you exhale, tuck the chin, engage the lower abdomen under the belly, under the ribcage, squeeze the hands together over the head and tuck that chin, taking the breath into the hamstrings and the shoulders. Really squeeze those palms together to get into the shoulders. And then as you exhale, release the hands down to the earth. And as you inhale, roll yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae, stacking disc on disc. And then everybody's going to come and stand 1 foot or a little bit more away from the mat. Bring the big toes to touch, and if you have the space, bring the heels to touch too. As you inhale, lift all 10 toes, spread them apart, and as you exhale, release them down to the earth, activating your first bandha, your first energy lock for the day, Pada Bandha. Then you're going to draw that energy up through that bandha by lifting the kneecaps, engaging through the quadriceps, tucking the hips, and then squeezing the glutes together and lifting through the pelvic floor, engaging your second energy lock, Mula Bandha, drawing that energy up further like you're pulling on a tight pair of pants. Pull the belly underneath the rib cage, engaging your third energy lock, Uddiyana Bandha. So we're really drawing that energy up through the bandhas. And you find broadness across the collarbones, open the palms towards the wall in front of you. Take that energy down to the fingertips. We're now standing in Samastiti or Tadasana. So taking that energy up through the bandhas, drawing it through the body, using your Ujjayi breath, that oceanic sounds at the back of the throat. Coming back to your intention, the mantra, let go. We have our breath, we have our bandhas, we have our mantra. Enjoy your practice. Inhale, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, fold. Breathe into those hamstrings. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Find your flat back. If your flat back isn't hands on the earth like this or right down, then you're going to take your hands up to where you find that flat back. So no hunching through the shoulders like this. Roll those shoulders back, squeeze the arms beside the body, engage through the lower core. So wherever you need to be is wherever you need to be. And then as you exhale, you're going to take that right foot back, lower the right knee to the earth. Inhale, hook the thumbs, gaze to the fingertips, lift through the top 3 ribs, and then take it back if you don't have any back problems. If you have any back problems or hip problems, stay nice and high. As you exhale, bring your hands down to the earth, curl that right foot, take the left foot back, come back to a downward dog. Inhale, roll yourself forward to a high plank. Exhale, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, the feet to the heels, downward dog. Inhale, bring the right foot forward. Exhale, the left knee to the earth. Inhale, hook the thumbs and reach back. Exhale, coming to stand at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, the left knee back, lower the left knee to the earth. Inhale, hook the thumbs and reach back. Exhale, back to your downward dog. Inhale, roll yourself forward to a high plank. Exhale, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, the feet to the heels, downward dog. Inhale, the left foot between the hands. Exhale, the right knee to the earth. Inhale, hook the thumbs and reach back. Exhale, coming to stand at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, the right knee back, lower the right knee to the earth. Inhale, hook the thumbs and reach back. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, roll yourself forward to a high plank. Exhale, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, the feet to the heels, downward dog. Inhale, bring the right foot between the hands. Exhale, the left knee to the earth. Inhale, hook the thumbs and reach back. Exhale, coming to stand at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, the left knee back, lower the left knee to the earth. Inhale, hook the thumbs and reach back. Exhale, coming back to your downward dog. Inhale, roll yourself forward to a high plank. Exhale, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, the feet to the heels, downward dog. Inhale, the left foot between the hands. Exhale, the right knee to the earth. Inhale, hook the thumbs and reach back. Exhale, coming to stand at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, fold. Final one of this round. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, the right knee back, lower the right knee to the earth. Inhale, hook the thumbs and reach back. Exhale, coming to your downward dog. Inhale, roll yourself forward to your high plank. Exhale, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, the feet to the heels, downward dog. Inhale, the right foot between the hands. Exhale, the left knee to the earth. Inhale, hook the thumbs and reach back. Exhale, coming to stand at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, the left knee back, lower the left knee to the earth. Inhale, hook the thumbs and reach back. Exhale, coming back to your downward dog. Inhale, roll yourself forward to a high plank. Exhale, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, the feet to the heels, downward dog. Inhale, that left foot between the hands. Exhale, the right knee to the earth. Inhale, hook the thumbs and reach back. Exhale, coming to stand at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, prayer high, gaze high. Open that heart to the sky this time, round down through the heels. Lift through the upper core. Take the arms in alignment with the ears, lifting through the top 3 ribs. Maybe gaze towards those fingertips, maybe come into a slight upper back bend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands on the earth. Take the right foot back to a plank. Take the left foot back to a plank. And either continue with your knees, chest, chin in your Bhujangasana, or take the weight slightly into the chest, and then exhale to your Chaturanga. Elbows brush the sides of the body, shoulders go no lower than the elbows. If you jump back to a Chaturanga. Inhale to your upward dog. Your legs are lifted. Only the tops of the feet are on the earth. Squeeze the arms just outside of the chest. Only gaze to where the heart goes, not lifting the head towards the sky. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Engage through the inner thighs. And then exhale back to your downward dog. Breathing into your downward dog for 3 breaths for the first one. Come back to the breath. Come back to the intention. Feel the hands on the earth. Feel the feet on the earth. As you inhale, gaze to the fingertips, bend the knees, and step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, step or float back to your Chaturanga. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. If you inhale, bend the knees, gaze to the fingertips, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, stepping and jumping back as you exhale. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. As you inhale, bend the knees, gaze to the fingertips, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, stepping or jumping back. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. As you inhale, bend the knees, gaze to the fingertips, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, fold, final one. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, stepping or jumping back. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. As you inhale, bend the knees, gaze to the fingertips. As you inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. If you have the space, the hands are together. Otherwise, they're apart. Relax the shoulders. Draw the belly under the ribcage. Turn the fingertips in to face each other. Bring the knees almost in alignment with the ankles. Engage the inner thighs. Keep the breath. Keep that drishti nice and high. Exhale, fold. Breathe nice and deeply into your forward fold. Taking a few breaths to breathe into those hamstrings. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, stepping or jumping back, moving through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. As you inhale, bring that right foot between the hands before we come up. Ground down through that left heel. The left big toe is in line with the left corner of the mat. The right knee is stacked in line with the right ankle. You're in line with the right little toe. You can see the big toe inside of that right inner thigh. Ground down through that left heel and engage through that left inner thigh. And use the glutes of the left thigh. Bring the palms together. Gaze to the fingertips. Ground down through that left heel. Warrior one. Relax the shoulders. We'll be here for 3 breaths for the first one. Find that alignment. Find how it should feel for that left inner thigh. Use that left leg to find the balance here. Gaze to the fingertips. And as you exhale, bring the hands down to the earth. Gaze forward. Take the right leg back, either along the earth or keep it lifted for a 3-legged chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. Inhale the left foot between the hands. Ground down through that right heel. Engage through that right inner thigh, that right glute. The left knee stacked in line with the left ankle. It's in line with the left little toe. You can see your left big toe inside of that left knee. Bring the palms together. Gaze to those hands. Use that right glute to find your balance. Relax the shoulders. Maybe shift the gaze to those fingers. And use that right leg to find the balance. Use the left leg to ground down into the heel. Square the hips. Taking one more breath. And as you exhale, bring the hands down to the earth. Gaze forward. And either take that left foot back along the earth or keep it lifted to the sky. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. Taking 3 breaths here for the first one. Come back to the breath. Come back to the mantra. Come back to that intention. Use the bandhas. Bend the knees as you inhale, gaze to the fingertips. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Here for 3 breaths for the first one. Use that Ujjayi breath. Use that intention. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping or floating back, moving through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. 1 breath, 1 movement this time. Inhale that right foot between the hands, ground down through that left heel, warrior one. Exhale, frame the front foot, move through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. Inhale that left foot between the hands, ground down through that right heel, warrior one. Exhale, moving through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze to the fingertips, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, stepping or jumping back, moving through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. Gaze to the fingertips as you inhale, bend the knees, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, stepping or jumping back, moving through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. Inhale that right foot between the hands, ground down through that left heel. And as you exhale, move through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. Inhale that left foot between the hands, ground down through that right heel. Warrior one. Exhale the hands down to the earth, frame the front foot, take the left foot back, move through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. Bend the knees, gaze to the hands, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen, find that flat back. Exhale, stepping or jumping back, moving through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. Inhale that right foot between the hands, warrior one. And as you exhale, bring the hands down to the earth. Frame the front foot. Move through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. Inhale that left foot between the hands, warrior one. Exhale, frame the front foot. Move through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. And breathe into your downward dog for 5 breaths. As you inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Feet should be hip distance apart. Gaze forward, bend the knees. Take the peace fingers, wrap them underneath the big toes. And as you exhale, take the elbows out to the sides of the body, tuck the chin, draw the belly under the ribcage and begin to straighten through the legs and use the strength of the biceps to pull the head down towards the earth. We're here for 7 breaths. Take that inward breath into the backs of the legs. Use that outward breath to surrender the body to the pose. We speak about the edge a lot in yoga. It's 70% if you're new to the practice, 80% if you're more experienced, and 90% if you have an advanced practice. If you're injured or pregnant, this goes down. Know where you sit on that spectrum, and use the subtle cues in your body to guide you, not your ego. Inhale yourself back to a halfway lift, release the toe bind. This time take the entire hand under the entire foot. And then as you exhale, straighten the legs, tuck the chin, take the elbows out to the sides of the body. Try and straighten through the legs. If the entire hand is under the entire foot, we have for 7 breaths. But if the entire hand is under the entire foot and the legs are completely straight, you can straighten through the arms again. Shift the drishti sort of between the toes, the big toes, and then begin to lift the hips as you lift through the core. Engage through the lower belly, and as you inhale, maybe lift the heels off the earth. Don't fall. Don't fall like I did. Really use your lower core and your mula bandha. As you inhale, lift the legs. Don't bend them if you can. My balance clearly isn't with me today. Let's see if yours is.
And if it's not, surrender to that experience, be curious, be compassionate, and have a little bit of humour if you do fall out of it. It's all part of the practice, learning to see where your body is and where it isn't today. And now we're going to all shuffle ourselves midway down our mat. And we're going to come into a Malasana to begin, just to loosen in the hips. And then we're going to either come into our Kakasana, our crow pose, or Bakasana, our crane pose. I'm going to work with Kakasana, so I'm going to offer a few variations for different levels. So the first one is meant to be the easiest. So the insides of the knees are going to go around the outsides of the upper arms. You want to use your fingertips here. You want to really press into the earth through the fingers. So the fingers can be bent. It's going to activate and awaken through the triceps and the chest. So as you inhale, you come forward. You squeeze the knees on the outsides of the arms. You push the outsides of the arms onto the knees. If you feel safe here, keep coming forward. Use a block or a pillow in front if you don't feel safe here. As you inhale, squeeze one heel to one glute, and then maybe lift the other and float. So that's our option one. Our option two is a really nice option for our transition to a headstand, which I will then demonstrate. So it's a really nice transition to a headstand because it's just a bone stacking exercise of the knee on the elbow. And by the knee being on the elbow rather than higher on the arm, it allows you to keep a nice sort of triangular center of gravity, which means that you have more control when you take the head towards the earth. So you don't feel like you're going to face plant as much, and it's a nice safe way to transition to a headstand. Sometimes having the knee too high up on the arm can be quite a scary transition, and it requires a lot more strength. So if you're struggling in that transition from a crow to a headstand at the moment, maybe bring the knee back down to the elbow and work from there. So you're going to take the legs behind the hands, press the palms into the earth, then come forward with the chest, bend the elbows. Keep bending the elbows, keep coming forward. And then bend the elbows so much that they create a shelf for the knees. And then just stack one knee on one elbow, the other knee on the other elbow. Stay here for a few breaths, and then begin to lower that crown of the head towards the earth. Bring the knees, make sure they're on the arms to begin with. Squeeze the heels into the body, and then gently float yourself up to a headstand. Taking a few breaths in your headstand. Use the core. And then as you exhale, bring the knees. Why is my balance not with me when I'm on camera? Beautiful. Well, if you're still coming down, bring the knees back to the arms, and then either bring the knees back to the earth by lifting into your crow and shooting back down, or shooting straight away back through to a chaturanga. Life isn't perfect, guys. This is still going up. It's my first video. Know where you are today. For some reason my balance really isn't with me today, and that's okay. And we're all going to meet back in our downward dog. Taking a few breaths in your downward dog. As you inhale, lift the right leg to the sky. As you exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Inhale the leg to the sky. Exhale the knee to tap the right elbow. We'll come in to Kundalini. Inhale the leg back to the sky. Exhale the knee to tap the left elbow. Or come into side crow. Inhale the leg to the sky. Exhale the knee to the nose and hold for 3 breaths. Really draw that knee into the nose by rounding through the upper back, engaging through the lower core. Inhale the leg to the sky. Exhale, bring the foot through the hand and open the heart and the hips towards the side of the mat, coming into your warrior two. Roll the shoulders down the back. Round down into the heels. Engage through the core. If you'd like to deepen the pose, as you inhale, lift that right heel. If you'd like to deepen the pose further, on the next inhalation, lift the left heel. And as you exhale, lower the hips. Breathing here for 3 breaths. Exhale, lower the heels down to the earth. Inhale, flip the palm, gaze to the fingertips, reverse the warrior. Take that left hand around, press that left palm into the upper right thigh. Keep gazing to the right fingertips. Inhale back through the center line. Straighten that front leg. And as you exhale, coming into your Trikonasana with the bind. So we can really open that heart towards the wall in front of us. Gaze over that right shoulder, that left shoulder. Think about opening the heart towards the wall in front of you versus reaching the earth. Inhale, use the mula bandha to lift you all the way back up. Exhale, bringing the hand down to the earth. Now coming into your side angle gaze to those left fingertips. As you exhale, take the hand over the head, gaze past that left armpit. Think about creating a steady straight line from the left ankle to the left hip, to the left shoulder. And then coming into the bind, taking that right arm, the right shoulder underneath the right thigh. Take the right arm around behind the back. Take the left arm around. The hand that binds is the hand that grips. If you can, taking that left wrist and drawing the left arm straight. Gaze past that left shoulder. Know where you are, not where you want to be. If you have the space, come into your bound trikonasana by straightening that right leg. And gazing past that left shoulder. As you exhale, bend that knee. Gaze to the right big toe. And then in one motion, inhale, come onto the toes of the left foot and step to the front of the mat. Shift the weight into the left leg. And as you inhale, come up to find your bird of paradise. Is my balance back with me? We will see. Gaze to those left shoulder and see if you can point that right big toe, straightening that right leg as much as you can. 4 more breaths. Back to the breath. Back to the intention. Use the bandhas, really lift up to the crown of the head here. And then as you exhale, release that right foot down to the earth. And then in one motion, as you inhale, take that left foot back, bound warrior. Exhale the hands down to the earth. Rocking backwards and forwards. And then coming in to find a lizard pose. Bring the elbows down to the earth or rest them on a block. And surrender into the pose for 7 breaths. Back to that mantra, let go. Observe where the storytelling mind wants the body to go in a hip opener. And bring it back to the mantra. 3 more breaths. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Press the left palm into the earth. Inhale the right arm to the sky. Gaze to those right fingertips. Roll onto the left toe. Take the right foot back. In your side plank, think about lifting that right hip up. And then take the right foot behind the left. Point the left toe. Inhale into your wild thing for 5 breaths. Open that heart. Gaze to the fingertips. Inhale back through the center line. Exhale, moving through vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to your downward. Breathing into your downward dog for 5 breaths. Come back to the breath. Come back to the intention, the mantra, let go. Use the bandhas. As you inhale, lift the left leg to the sky. Exhale the nape of the nose. Inhale the leg to the sky. Exhale, coming into Kundalini. Inhale the leg to the sky. Exhale the knee to tap the right elbow or come into side crow. Inhale the leg to the sky. Exhale the knee to the nose and hold for 3 breaths. Inhale the leg to the sky. Exhale the knee to the nose. Open that right foot out, the hips and the heart. Move to the side of the mat. Ground down through the outer edge of that right foot. Make sure the left knee's in line with the left ankle. You can see that left big toe inside of it. Find broadness across the collarbones. Take the gaze over the middle finger of that left hand. If you'd like to deepen the pose, as you inhale, lift the left heel. And if you'd like to deepen it further, as you inhale, lift the right heel. Exhale, sinking into the hips. They keep lifting through the heels. Exhale, lower the feet down to the earth. Inhale, flip the palm, reverse the warrior, taking that right hand around, pressing the palm into the upper left thigh. Keep gazing towards those left fingertips. Use the breath. Inhale yourself back up, straighten that front leg. Exhale, Trikonasana with the bind, gaze over that right shoulder. Open the heart towards the wall in front of you. Engage through the lower core. Round down through that right heel. Inhale, back up. Exhale, coming into your side angle. Press that left palm into the earth. Inhale the right hand to the sky. Exhale over the head, gaze past that right armpit. Ground down through that right heel. Coming into the bind, taking that left shoulder underneath, behind the left calf. Then take the left arm underneath the left thigh. Take the arm around the body. Take the right arm around the body. The hand that binds is the hand that grips. The left hand goes around the right wrist. Pull the right arm straight. If you can, gaze over those right shoulders. And then if you like to deepen the pose as you exhale, try to straighten that front leg for your bound Trikonasana. If you're new to the practice, or you're tight in your hamstrings or your shoulders, not working with this yet. Exhale, bend that front leg. Come onto the tiptoe of the right foot, and in one inhalation, come to the top of the mat. Ground down through that right foot. And as you inhale, lift the left up for your bird of paradise. Gaze over the right shoulder. And then lift the left leg to the sky. Three more breaths. And as you exhale, take that left foot, press it into the earth. And then inhale that right leg back up, shoot it back out, and as you exhale, come to find your foundational lizard, rock backwards and forwards. And then come down on the elbows to your full lizard for 7 breaths. Keep the right heel lifted, the right leg engaged, and breathe here. Observe where the storytelling mind wants the body to go, and bring it back to the breath, that Ujjayi breath. Bring it back to that intention, let go. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Press the right palm into the earth. Inhale the left to the sky. Roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. Inhale the left leg back in your side plank. And then take the left foot behind the right, point the right toe. Inhale, reach the heart, take the gaze back to the left fingertips, wild thing. 4 more breaths. Inhale back to your side plank. Exhale, moving through your vinyasa. Inhale to your upward. Exhale to a child's pose. Taking a well-deserved rest in child's pose. Coming back to the breath. Coming back to our intention, let go. Letting it all go. And then we're going to learn headstand. So if headstand is already within your practice, you can head straight there. We're going to learn the steps today. My hair looks crazy, so that's fine. So, first of all, move your hair out of the way. So if you've got hair on top of your head, move that hair out of the way. Either do a low ponytail or a low bun, or just pull it to the side. And then the first thing we're going to do is you're going to take your thumb and place it between your eyebrows. Take your index finger back. Where your index finger lands is the apex of your head. That peak point in the skull, that's where you want to stand on your head. That's where we're going to get that nice alignment for the spine. So you don't want to be here, you don't want to be back here, but that apex point of the head. That's where we're standing. Our second checkpoint is our arms. So we want our elbows and our shoulders to be in alignment with each other. So sail the arms out, like this, and that's where we want to be. The third is we interlace the fingers. There'll be a loose little finger out like this. Curl it underneath. By curling it underneath, this is going to prevent you from dislocating your finger if you fall out of the pose. So now that we have that base, we're going to take that base to the ground. Now I'm going to offer a couple of steps. If you're new to the practice, you're pregnant, you're injured, or you have your period, I really don't recommend going beyond the first level unless you have an advanced practice and you know your body. This is something you should probably learn with
a teacher in a studio unless you have very strong body awareness and a nice strong core and you're not working with any injuries. And then you can take the steps and begin to awaken the body. But I really don't recommend if this is your first time coming up into the full expression of the pose, because you're more likely to hurt yourself. So think of the steps that lead to the headstand as the awakening of the body and the mind to the pose. And then you can try it in a few weeks, or with a studio, or with a friend who knows how. So with that said, let's begin, let's learn our headstand. So we're going to take that base that we've created and we're going to take it down to the floor. So I recommend midway down the mat on the off chance that you fall, you want a nice safe ground to land on. And then you're going to bring the head to the earth. If we're new to the practice, you'll stay here today. You're just going to begin to see how it feels to place your head on the earth, and just to begin to feel how it feels to begin to use the arms. We call it a headstand, but really this variation of a headstand, we're actually using our forearms and our elbows quite a lot in our triceps. So please don't just dump all the weight into the head. We have very heavy bodies for our heads. Even though our heads are also very heavy, we need to be careful and mindful. So some of us will stay here. If you feel safe here, you feel comfortable, there's no neck pain, you feel like you're in the right place, you can curl the toes and then come back to kind of like a downward dog. And if you feel safe here, you can walk the feet in and walk them back out. If you feel safe here, keep walking the feet in and then squeeze one heel to one glute, lower. Squeeze the other heel to the other glute, lower. And if you feel safe here, squeeze, 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 engage the core. Find your stability here first. Some of us, we don't need to come up further than this. We can stay here and learn how it feels here. Otherwise, if you feel safe here, you can lift all the way up to your headstand. And then breathe here. Breathing here for a few moments. Engage through the triceps. Use the arms. Maybe bring the soles of the feet together. Maybe lower the knees. And then maybe bring the heels back in and lower down. Take a few moments to kneel, to just observe the flow in the body. Return back to the breath, back to the intention. Bring the hands down to the earth. Exhale yourself back to your downward dog. Inhale, roll yourself forward to a high plank. Exhale, Ashtanga Namaskar, right down to the earth, lower the hips and the heart. Take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, squeeze the hands together, bring the legs together, squeeze the legs together, engage to the core. Inhale, lift it all up. The heart's lifted, the legs lifted. Keep breathing into that heart for 4 more breaths. Keep lifting the legs, engage through all of the core, really squeeze that lower core. Engage through the pelvic floor, so the Mula Bandha, the Uddiyana Bandha. Breathe into that heart. Exhale, lower. Bring your favourite cheek to the mat, rock the body from side to side. And then roll over onto the mat. Walk the heels in towards the glutes so you can tickle the backs of the ankles with the fingertips. And then you're going to ground down into the heels. Engage through the inner thighs like you're squeezing a block. You can actually squeeze a block if you have one. And then as you inhale, lift the hips to the sky, lift the heart. Take the hands behind the back, walk the shoulder blades over the back, squeeze the palms together. Engage through those inner thighs, breathe into that heart so the heart moves all the way to the chin if you can. And then you can either stay here or you can take the hands beside the ears. Press the hands into the earth. Again, if you're new to the pose, stay here today. And just begin to awaken what it feels like for the forearms to be on the earth like this. So the fingertips are facing the shoulder blades. We're squeezing the arms together. If you feel safe here, as you inhale, you can lift to the top of the head. And if you feel safe here, lift all the way up to the wheel. We don't want to be pushing into the back here, so leaning down like this. Open into the heart and push the heart towards the wall behind you. Engage through the inner thighs. Knees should be in alignment with the hips. Breathe into that heart space, wherever you are, for 4 more breaths.
And then lower yourself down to the earth. And the knees to touch, walk the heels out wide. Breathe into the lower back for 3 breaths. And then hug the knees into the chest, rocking from side to side, giving the lower back a nice little massage. And then using the core, I'm going to rock ourselves almost all the way up to seated as you inhale. And as you exhale, lower all the way back down 5 more times. Inhale up, exhale down, 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 inhale up, exhale down 1 more time, inhale up, and lower back to your Paschimottanasana. So, flex the feet, move the glutes out of the way so the tailbone is firmly on the earth. Inhale, Dandasana, engage through the core, extend through the crown of the head. As you exhale, take the chest forward, the tailbone back, Paschimottanasana. If you have a strap, use a strap. We're not rounding into the back here. We're taking the heart down. We want the hamstrings to be on the earth. I have a natural lift because of the shape of my leg. So some of us won't actually flatten right down. We don't want to do that because that's an overextension. So it's fine to have a gap between your back of your knee and the earth, but you do want your hamstrings, so the backs of your thighs, to be on the earth. We don't want to be doing this. So keep that, and so if that means your legs are straight and you're up here, do that. If you can though, we're reaching for the toes. Take the elbows out to the side so we're not hunching into the shoulders. Relax the shoulders, roll the belly under the ribcage, and as you exhale, come down to find your fold. And observe the fold for 5 more breaths. Inhale yourself back up. Hug the knees into the chest. Lift through the heart. Take the hands behind the thighs. Some of us will stay here. Otherwise, you can bring your hands to the calves, just below the ankles, or just outside of the heels. And then some of us will just lift to here. Otherwise, lift through the core, lift through the heart, and as you exhale, if your balance is with you, is mine with me today, straighten and hold. It's not with me today, but you hold for 10 breaths. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now let go of the hands, let go of the feet. I'm going to lower down to the earth for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press the palms into the earth. And as you inhale, lift the legs over the head back to your plow position. Bring the hands to the back, bring the knees to the forehead, walk the shoulders in towards each other, and then squeeze the legs to the sky. Coming in to your shoulders down. Breathing into your shoulders down, keep lifting those feet towards the sky. Observe the shift in the mind as we shift the flow of energy by shifting the flow of blood. And then take the legs back over the head, back to your plow pose. Breathe here for 3 breaths. And then release the hands, press the palm into the earth, bring the knees outside of the ears. And then gently lower yourself down to the earth. And we'll come into a fish pose. Arms are outside of the hips. Elbows are outside of the base of the rib cage, point the toes, lift the heart, Bring the crown of the head towards the earth. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhale, open the mouth, lion's breath. Stick the tongue out, sigh. Inhale. Exhale. Releasing the Ujjayi breath one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Bring yourself down to the mat. Walk the heels out wide, let the palms open to the sky, let the shoulders find the earth, finding broadness in the collarbones. Tuck the chin, just slightly. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, sigh it all out. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Bring the tongue to the roof of the mouth and observe the most important pose in the practice, Shavasana. As you inhale, gently wiggling the fingers and the toes. Bring the legs together, point the toes. As you inhale, take the hands over the head. Stretch everything in the body. As you exhale, sigh it all out. Hug the knees into the chest. Giving yourself a nice big hug. Roll over onto the right side of the body. The eyes remain closed. Gently make your way to a seated position. The eyes remain closed. Inhale the hands into Anjali Mudra, a prayer position, pressing them into Anahata Chakra, the sternum. Seal the lips. Follow the breath through the nostrils down to the base of the spine. Checking in with yourself. Yoga means union. Observing that union within yourself, through the screen, and into the world. Understanding the importance of this union, of finding this union within all of us. Breathing into the heart space, back to your loving intention, your bhakti. And as you exhale, if you have any calm, peaceful, loving energy, sending it out to them. Mine goes out to all of you today.
Breathing to the third eye space, Ajna chakra, coming back to our mantra, our intention for the day. Let go. Were you able to let go? To focus on the breath, to focus simply on the mantra, to focus on the asana. Or did you get caught up? Not judging, simply noting, understanding we're here to love ourselves, not to hate ourselves. And note if maybe you can take that mantra with you to your day, off the mat into the world. And then let's let it all go. And we'll close the space. With one Om and 3 Shantis, take a nice deep inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. In your prayer position, your Anjali mudra to the third eye space. Namaste.
Bow down.
Thank you guys so much for joining me with that practice. I know it was a little bit imperfect. I had a few mishaps because my balance isn't with me today, and I'm okay with that. So if yours wasn't with you, be okay with it too. Yoga is not about perfection. It's about discovering where you are today and surrendering to it. And knowing when there's space to go a little bit further, creating more space. So practicing without judgment, always with love, and with care for yourself and your body. Have a beautiful day, everybody.